Hello everyone, it's Andrew from GemTCG here, and in today's video I'll be talking about how to find and buy collections on Facebook and Facebook groups. So I'll be showing you how to look for good collections to buy on there, and then also how to make a post so that people come to you to sell you their collections so that you don't have to constantly be searching through these groups and then message every single person to potentially buy collections. Because I've talked a lot about it in the past on me buying collections from groups, but I've never showed how to actually do it. And I source all of my inventory from these Facebook groups, so it's definitely like the best way to get inventory from my experience. I don't know any other way that would be better. So I hope you guys find this video helpful, and I will head over to Facebook and we can start the video. Also, if you're new here and you want to get more help starting and growing your eBay stores, I have a Patreon where I can give more one-on-one help, and the link is in the description. So first, what you'll want to do before you even get started on making these posts is you're going to need to join the Facebook groups that people are in. So if you go to Facebook and then go to this groups page, you can see all these tabs, and like right here you can see all the groups I'm in. And then you'll want to look for the ones with like at least 20K or like 20,000 people, and then also look for a local group. Like right here I'm in the Michigan Pokemon buy sell trade, because that way you can find local deals. And if you're not in any of those groups, you could just go to discover and then search for like Pokemon buy sell trade. And it might look different for you because right now it's not showing me the groups that I'm already in. But as you can see here, there's like this one, 72,000 members, 34,000 members, and just stuff like that. You're going to want to make sure it's not like a Pokemon Go group like this one, because they're selling and trading like character or cards or whatever it is in the game and not actual trading cards. So stay away from that and just join in as many groups as you can. Like I'm going to join in one right now. And usually they'll have you ask or like answer these questions. What is a timestamp? Timestamp is like a picture of an item you're selling with a name and date. So it'll just ask like random questions like this just to show that you're not a bot, and just agree with everything they say. It's just a way to weed out like all those people. And sometimes if you have a Facebook group, sometimes they'll require that you're active for at least 30 days before you join a group. So have your like create your account right away so that once you start looking to buy collections, you won't be held back by that like time difference. And yeah, okay, so that's how you join the groups. How I don't know why they're asking where you're located, but yeah, so I don't want to bore you guys too much with this. And then, okay, so once you join the groups, you can go back to this page and it'll show you the groups that you're in. So these two that I pinned are like my favorite groups. I find the most collections from there. So let's just look at this one. This one has 100,000 members. And if you just scroll through, right, I believe it's right here to recent activity, there used to be a thing to like sort it by popularity and stuff like that, but you just scroll through and you'll look for collections. Like this guy's selling this card for $1,100. I don't know if that's even right. That sounds so expensive, but like this one's selling just a few cards. You'll notice like people like these two, they're just selling single cards. They have like 1 to 10 cards. They just want to get full market price or as close to it as possible. So those people, you're going to want to just like ignore them because you're not really going to make a deal if you're just buying a few cards from someone that's a collector, because they just want to sell for market price. They don't want to sell in bulk at a discount. And then you'll see stuff like this. They're running claim sales. That's a pretty similar thing. Claim sales, like they'll like right here 283 comments. They'll just post pictures of the card, and then someone can comment on it and claim the card, and then they pay through there. But that is not what you want to look for. You won't find good deals like that. And honestly, I'm looking at it on my laptop. I usually do it on my phone, and for some reason on my phone, like on my actual feed, it will show better results. And since I respond to so many of the same type of posts, it'll just show me those posts. So I think it's just like the algorithm understands what I'm looking for. So when you look over here, it's kind of hard to find. But what you want to look for is a collector list or a TCG player list, and someone saying like selling collection, looking for 80% or 70%, something like that. Like right here, this guy posted an hour ago looking for bulk slab buyers. So if you are someone that buys bulk graded cards, this is like the perfect thing for you. Um, so right here, just read their post selling at a per slab rate of $25 per slab. It's probably a bunch of junk, to be honest. Like looking at these pictures, I don't think it'll be profitable, but these are the type of things you will look for. So if you go, let's look at this like Michigan group. It's of course it's like a lot lower amount of people, but it's a more filtered group. And most times when you're buying locally, people will be willing to sell it at a discount because they don't have to ship or worry about fees, and it's just more safe for them. So like right here, selling for 70%, binder number one is pending pickup, local to Ann Arbor. So like right here, $4,200, 3,600, and then 4,400. I think, yeah. So there's three binders here. Total is around like 12,000, I believe, and he's selling it for 70%, which is pretty good. I mean, the average card price here is like $10, a little bit more. So 70% for that is not bad. And especially these like types of cards, it looks like there's a lot of duplicates, which really helps when you're listing stuff. Because if you can update a listing and put in like 10 at a time, it's very helpful and it saves you a lot of time. And then, like right here, let's just say I wanted to buy this. I would say, like, I would comment, I'll just say PM'd, which means like personal messaged. And then I would message them and say, can I see what's left from your collection for sale? And then you just give them time. They will respond, or they'll most likely respond, especially if you comment, PM, because I think sometimes if you just direct message them without having any interaction with that person, it'll show up as spam. And most people don't check their spam. So you're going to want to at least like the post, comment, or do something so that you don't show up as spam. And then that's about it for this. Like you just want to look for collections. Right here, another one. Total price 3,400, asking 2,750, and this is a pretty expensive collection. Oh, he sold it, but like right here, I believe that average price is around like 60 or $70. So to be asking, I don't know what percentage that is, but it looks like a pretty good deal. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You just look through it. It's easier on your phone because the more you, like I said earlier, the more you respond to those specific posts, it'll show up on your feed all the time. So definitely check it out on the phone. I think it's easier that way. And it's also easier to message people on there. And then let's say, you don't want to be looking through all these posts because it is very time consuming and you're just basically like taking a shot at the dark and hoping someone is actually going to sell you their collection. So instead of like looking for one person, you could make a post and show that to the entire group. So I'll actually like make a post right here. So I would say, buying Pokemon card collections. And then you just want to specify what you're buying. So, like raw English cards only, and then what you're paying. So, paying 60 to 80% market. And then I like to do or like add a recommendation. So, if someone's just sending me a picture of their binder and they're saying like make an offer on this, I will not respond to them because it's not like the buyer's job to price out your collection, and it takes way too long to do that. So I just say have a TCG player or collector list ready, and then I say like paying upfront with PayPal, goods and service, budget. You can put whatever budget you want. So because sometimes people will message you and they'll have like a $50,000 collection, and not all of us can afford that. So right now I'll put like budget 10,000. You could also say like looking for collections that are above, $500 or something like that. I'm not gonna specify that just because. And then you could also say like please direct message, or say like I respond to all messages. So that way people don't have to like comment their collection and then you have to reach out to them. You could just message to you directly, because sometimes people think if they don't comment first, like I mentioned earlier, then people will not read their message because it's in the spam. But since I check all of my spam anyways, I just say that so they can, you know, direct message me. It's a lot quicker. And then you could add a picture. Sometimes I'll put like a picture of a card or a collection just to get that attention from the people. Because if you're just scrolling through Facebook and you see a post like this, you're probably not going to be too interested, Like it's very bland, pretty boring. And if you're seeing all these, pictures and videos of cards, this is going to slip through. So I would recommend adding a picture if you can. I don't have one at the moment, but for reference, you guys will want to do that. And then a big game changer is this add groups button. So if you click it right here, it says post in up to 9 groups that you're in. So I can literally click on all of these Pokemon groups and then just like expand the reach, I guess. So there's like, let's say there's 50,000 average people in there. That's assuming they're all different. It would be like 400,000 people that I'm making a post to that can potentially see it. Obviously, they won't all see it, but it just expands your reach, and you will get a lot of people responding to you, wanting to sell their collections, and it's just very good to have. And when you make the post, it'll be pending, so it won't work right away. Like it won't be displayed right away. So what I recommend for that is post it a few hours before like 5 p.m. or middle of the evening or night, whatever, because that's when most people are active in these groups. You don't want to be posting it at like, you know, 6 a.m. and then it gets approved at 9 a.m. and no one's reading it. Like no one's seeing your post. And another thing is sometimes you will get people like laugh reacting or trying to mock your pricing and stuff like that, but don't worry too much about them. If anything, it helps because um, when when someone is like reacting to your post or commenting, it boosts it in the algorithm. So then your post will keep showing up for more people, which means you get more attention, and then you get more people that can see it and then want to sell their collection to you. So if anything, just like let it be. Don't get like too upset about it or anything, because it does happen a lot. And especially like when I first started, I would get a lot of those posts or like mock comments. So it's just I learned to just appreciate it because it helps boost the post. So that's that. And then once your post gets approved, sometimes you might get zero responses. Like literally no one will reach out to you and want to sell their collection. But sometimes you might get like 5 or 10 people all wanting to sell their collections. And it's just very good. You just got to keep posting every day if you can. I sometimes get lazy and I don't post every day. I post like maybe once a week or something like that when I have a high budget ready to spend. But the more you post, the higher your chances will be. Some groups might be like a little bit strict and not let you post every day. Like I know I saw one time my post got disapproved or like declined because I posted so recently. So they didn't allow me to post again. But that's fine. Just like try again the next time or whenever they say the deadline ends. And then when people start messaging you, I don't want to really show my messages because it's a little bit personal. Like there's like personal information in there. But when people message you, they'll send you their list. You want to look through the list for sure. And if they just send like one screenshot of the collection, make sure they send you all of the screenshots so that you can see every single card, just in case there's like a card missing and when you receive it or any issues like that. You're going to want to have all the information available. And then look it over. If you think everything is right, send them a offer. So let's say the average price was like $10 per card. I would offer them 70% market price. And if it's higher, maybe I'll go higher than 70%. If it's lower, I'll go lower. And then if they agree, you know, ask them for their PayPal, send the payment, give them your address, and then they'll ship it to you. And that's pretty much how all of them will go. Sometimes you'll see people that'll want to negotiate and get like a cheaper price or a higher price. But if you just stay firm with what you're offering, 9 times out of 10, they will stick with it. Sometimes you'll get people that will hold off, look for someone offering a higher rate. And even then, they might even come back to you like a week later and want to sell it to you. So it's really just how desperate are you to buy that collection? Sometimes, like I will admit, if I see a collection that's very good and I know I could sell it for like a very high amount, I will be willing to budge on my price. Like that collection video I posted a few days ago, it was like $15,000. I came in offering, I believe, like 70 or 75%, and they were okay with that. But then they asked for $500 more, which is like on a $15,000 collection. It's a smaller percentage, but it's still a big amount. So instead of being like, okay, I'll do $500 more, I said meet halfway, do 250, and that worked. I ended up saving $250, technically saving, and I still paid less than what I would have, which is very good. So it's a win-win, and that's about it. And then if there's ever issues, you could check out my PayPal case video on like how to get a refund. And honestly, yeah, that's about it for buying collections on Facebook. If there's any other questions you may have, please let me know in the comments because who knows, I could be missing something that or something that's maybe confusing to you guys. So just let me know and I'd be happy to help. But I hope you guys found this video helpful and I hope you're able to find some good collections on here because that's honestly how I do it and it's the best method for me. But yeah, I will see you all in the next video and thank you all for getting me to 2,000 subscribers. I am very appreciative of all the support. So yeah, thank you for everything and I will see you all